Alright guys, how is everybody doing today? My name is Alan Snyder and I'm here with your tropical update for today. It is July 9th, 2020, and look at what we got here. We do have Tropical Storm Fay now. This is right off the east coast of North Carolina, and it looks like it's going to be moving right along into the northeast coast here. So let's take a look at the details. Alright, this is at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is advisory number 1. Maximum sustained winds are at 40 knots or 45 miles per hour. So it really started off really steep. It got the engines going real quick. Minimal central pressure is 1,005 millibars. This is located at 35.5 north, 74.9 west, and movement is 6 knots or 7 miles per hour. They're going to read this. Reconnaissance aircraft finds Tropical Storm Fay has formed just off the coast of North Carolina, expected to bring heavy rainfall and gusty winds to portions of the mid-Atlantic coast and southern New England. And we're going to take a look at the public advisories here. As you can see, it's moving north at 360 degrees. Tropical storm warnings has been issued for these areas: Cape May, New Jersey, northward to Watch Hill, Rhode Island, including Long Island and Long Island Sound. So this is where the tropical storm warnings are at here. Oh, look at that. Tropical storm force winds extend outwards of 140 miles. 140 miles. I was not expecting it to be that large, but it is. The latest minimal central pressure reported by reconnaissance aircraft is 1,005 millibars. So this is falling. This is falling here. Here are the key messages here. Fay is expected to produce 3 to 5 inches of rain along and near the track of Fay across the mid-Atlantic states into southeast New York and southern New England. These rains may result in flash flooding where the heaviest amounts occur. Winds. Tropical storm conditions are expected to first reach the coast within the warning area on Friday and spread northward through the warning area Friday night. So now that it's close to land, we're going to get advisories every 3 hours. So that's 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Alright, let's look at the forecast discussion here real quick. And as you can see, I'll let you guys, pause the video if you guys want to read this, or visit the National Hurricane Center if you want to read this. We can expect 3 to 5 inches of rain and extra totals around 8 inches along parts of these areas here. And then, the tropical storm conditions and whatnot. So here's the forecast position and max winds. The National Hurricane Center only wants to take this up 5 more miles per hour before it stops strengthening, and it goes inland at 36 hours before dissipating or becoming post or extra tropical within 60 to 72 hours. So this is going to be a short-lived system. Here is the wind speed probabilities here of what is to be expected here. Obviously, we're not 2 days away from landfall. We're a day and a half from landfall. Here's the totals here. So there's some places getting close up to like 40 to 50% in some of these coastline areas. We know Tropical Storm Fay is going to hit somewhere. We just don't know where, and that's why we're not getting all these brighter shades going inland yet, because this could go right into Delaware, or this could go north right into New York or New Jersey or Connecticut for that matter. So that's why we're not having higher percentages at this moment, but we know it's gonna hit somewhere. Here comes the arrival time of winds, and as you can see, pretty much New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and parts of Maine are all in this cone, as well as Maryland here. So anywhere in these areas need to really pay attention to what's going on out there, because it doesn't take a hurricane to really mess up your day. Even a slight tropical storm as this is, that's enough to really, bring hard times to your days, if you know what I mean. Here is the forecast cone. We're gonna check and see whatever warnings we got. And there it is. Tropical storm warnings from all of New Jersey to New York City and Connecticut. So these areas need to pay attention to what is going on out there. Alright, let's move on to... Well, actually, let's refresh this real quick and see if they have changed that yet. Nope, they have not. So this is Tropical Storm Fay right in here. And as you can see, yeah, that's a pretty wide envelope of moisture there. If this can try to wrap around itself more, we can probably see a little more strengthening, but it only has about 36 to 40 hours to really do so. I'm saying this is probably going to be 55 or 60 miles per hour. NHA only wants to take it at 50, but I always try to go 5 to 10 more miles per hour than the National Hurricane Center Service, just for the fact that they could be wrong on these, and it's always good to have your own predictions. Here is the intensity guidance here, and as you can see, some of the models do support what it is I'm saying here with 55 to 60 miles an hour here. So we'll see what happens going forward. But as of right now, this is the earliest F named storm in recorded history. It beats out Franklin of 2005, that infamous season. We've been breaking records, pretty much all season long. So I wouldn't be surprised if we've broken more records going forward, just because of how early the season still is. We are only a month and a week into the season. We still got four and a half months left to go. So let's just keep that in our minds and be wary of the situation, going forward. Alright, here is the GFS here. And as you can see, this is our system right here. I think it says 1,006 millibars. I could be wrong. I'm going to check out some details here for you. And as you can see, the vertical wind shear is only 9 knots. So this is why it's getting its act together now, because the vertical wind shear has died down, as you can see. So with that, let's go out through time, and we're going to see what happens with this. It looks like the GFS, about 30 to 36 hours, wants to take it right into New Jersey as it may be a 45 or 50 mile per hour system. So this goes in line with what the National Hurricane Center has to say about this. So we're gonna go out a little bit more here. Nope, that's too far. About 120 hours out, and obviously it's gone by now, but nothing else to really worry about with the GFS. So we're going to take a look at the wind speeds here. Go back, and as you can see, there's the 40 to 45 knot winds there. So this is about 18. This is valid at 6Z tomorrow morning. So this has already surpassed this. So this is already wrong in my estimation of what I see. But as you can tell, about 30 to 36 hours, you can see that it gets close to 50 knots, which is about 55 to 60 miles per hour. So this is another reason why I'm not ruling out 55 to 60 miles an hour. So something to really think about here going forward. And then as you can see, it just falls off from there. What about the GFS para here? What did they have to say about this? So here is our system. It's 1,006 millibars. So this is pretty close to what the National Hurricane Center and Tropical Tidbits has for the system. So we're gonna go 1,001, 1,002, then it looks like it gets sucked up by a front thereafter. That's probably why it's strengthening a little bit more, because of the influence of the front. So that is what the GFS pair has to say. What about the wind speeds? This is let's go back to 0, and as you can see, this is valid of 12Z. There's 18Z, which is pretty much the right now time period. And as you can see, it has about I don't know, probably 35 knots. So this is a little off, So let's go out through time, and there we go. We start to see the greens start to pop up just a little bit. Actually, well, there's a blooper for the video for you. I was on the wrong model. Oh my god. I'll keep that in here just for the laughters, yeah. So let's go to the wind here. It doesn't look like the GFS Para has that. First wind. Yeah, it looks like we're going to go on to the European then. Alright, now that we're back on track now. Oh man. Here's our system right in here. As you can see, the European is pretty close to what the National Hurricane Center has been saying here. Let's go through here and see what goes. And it really ramps up here, going through, you know, Delaware and Maryland here. So it looks like the European wants to take it into Delaware and Maryland here, about 24 hours out, and then it merges in with the frontal system about 48 to 72 hours out, and just gets swept out this. Well, it doesn't actually get swept out. It actually looks like it stays stationary for a little bit. And that's going to be bad news for wherever that stands and sits for a while, because that's probably going to pour down with quite a bit of rain. Anyways, we can look at the wind speeds here on the European. So it's always a backup, right? So here we are. This is the system right here. The European actually has this wrong a little bit, so we're going to go out through time. And you can see that a little bit of green starts to pop up here. So this indicates that it has about 40 knots, which is 45 miles per hour. So the European wants to say leave it at where it is right now at the current moment. We're just going to have to wait until the 0Z run of the European comes out, and well, the new models for these come out to really know the real scope of the situation. But this is what it's looking like right now, you know, and it dissipates at 48 hours, pretty much. Anyways, that is all I have for right now. If anything, you know, weird happens, I might come back in, maybe have another update if something happens. But as for now, this is what the Tropical Storm Fay is right now. I want to thank you guys for watching, and hope you enjoyed that little blooper of mine. We're going to keep that in. Anyways, thank you, and have a nice day.